listening to the Punisher Waterfowls, the Union 0430 podcast. Brought to you by Real Geese Decoys, the most technological advanced silhouette decoys on the market. And Vortex Canada, the force of optics.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Union 0430. This is episode 115, and this is a really strange one because all the boys, only just Phil and I, and then like 10 minutes before we were going to hit the start button, I was like, I've been meaning to talk to Jeff for the last couple of days, and I haven't. Here's an opportunity for me to talk to Jeff. So I fired him a message, and I was like, hey, you busy? Want to come on the show? I never heard from him, but he popped up. So our good friend Jeff Coates from Pit Boss Waterfowl is on with us. Billy, just you and I, bud. Boys are slacking.
But you know what's a scary day when I show up and there's nobody else.
Yeah, that's not good. Jeff, thanks for answering the call, buddy, and jumping on.
I did reply to your text message, and I explained.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay. I gotta get it.
Hold on.
We're getting ready for Thursday night football.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
Right.
I did.
Are you ready for some football?
Thursday night football.
It's something like how that song goes. I don't know.
Who's the game tonight?
It is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, who both lost. They both lost on Sunday. So
yeah. So did the Vikings.
Anyway, so tonight's topic, folks. Oh, go ahead, Jeffrey.
Thank you. Salute.
So tonight's topic is: can you own land underwater?
So the precursor to this, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously we get some of our best material from Facebook.
Yes.
Anyways, here in Ontario, that topic came up. Can you own land under the water? So that's the pretext, and Philly and Jeff will chime in with all kinds of impressive numbers that I don't know how they remember. Go Phil.
So I was perusing the Book of Face, and the Ontario Goose and Duck page to be exact. And there was a gentleman who made a post in regards to, like, here in because we have millions of listeners from across we are international. Here in Ontario, it is acceptable to fire a stake in the ground with your name on it and say, Phil, Duck Opener 2022. And it's a gentleman's rule. There is no law saying you have to do this. It's just a gentleman's rule for opening day of duck season. So a gentleman makes a post that someone posted a sign on private property, apparently 15 yards from where his blind is. Evidently, someone wasn't paying attention. But a side note from that, there was a bit of a discussion back and forth between two gentlemen, one of them who I know quite well, and he's an extremely, extremely knowledgeable person, and I would take everything he says as gospel. Gets into an argument between another gentleman as to whether or not you can own land underwater. Now, we venture down into the path of the Navigable Waters Act, I think is what it's called. Whereas, water's deemed public if it's navigable by watercraft. And it doesn't say what kind of watercraft, whether it's a kayak or a goddamn ocean tanker. If you can navigate it in a boat, you don't own it. Unless you have said special deed stating otherwise. Where this one gentleman believes that it don't matter what it is, it's all fair game, it's all public. Well, sweetheart, you are wrong. Because you have places like the southern half of Lake Scugog. You have sections of the Otonabee River. You have the Beaver River. You have Lake St. Clair. You have Long Point area, where there's a number of areas where these private duck clubs legitimately own the land underwater. Otherwise, if you looked at it, it would be deemed public. But no, they own the land. That's my rant.
There you go.
What do you got there, Jeffrey?
I'm bored.
Just a little baby knife.
It looks like a
It's just
gross
cute as
one.
It's cute
It's a
as a
good-
button.
It's a good neck scratch.
Looks like
Cute as a
a
button.
looks like a gross one, like a miniature one of his knives. Oh, that's a Delta waterfowl knife. Nice.
Oh, that is slick.
That
right
is
on.
nice.
But it's a good neck scratcher. All right.
There you
So
go.
how do I add to these comments? How do I add to these comments? First, I will say said deeded property. So right out here, evidently in deeded property, our property runs out about halfway across that canal. So technically, by Maryland law and our deeded property, under that water, our property line goes out to the center of that canal. So they just added to this bulkhead where they pushed it out about 3 feet. So they didn't have to go and readjust our property, because evidently on our deed, our small record plat of the house on the property, it shows our property corner to be right there and somewhere kind of right out there. So that said, in Maryland, waterfowl laws are much different. So you can, is it all right if I just go off and take off and keep talking?
Absolutely, buddy.
Have at her, sweetheart.
So Maryland waters are public. So if you want to jet ski, you want to boat, you want to fish, you want to crab, you want to clam, you want to, I can't say oyster. Well, I can say oyster, but you need a license for that. But let's say anything that you can do on public water, it's public water. So anybody can do anything that they want. But when it comes to waterfowl hunting, you must have permission from, not to use Phil's words, but said landowner who happens to own that shoreline. You have to, either the landowner, you can't tell the landowner he cannot hunt his property for waterfowl, number one. Number two, if I have written permission from the landowner, I can go and hunt his piece of property however I choose to do so. A little asterisk to this, his piece of property, for instance, let's say, I'm going to stretch this out, and let's say our canal is 100 yards across. I can be 1/3 the distance across the body of water out off that shoreline, not to exceed 300 yards. So on a big piece of property, like the type of gunning that I would do on big open water, that's going to be 300 yards out. So I can legally hunt 300 yards out off that shoreline from a boat. If I want to stand in the water, if I want to put up a permanent blind out there, that I can legally do that. From 301 yards to 800 yards is kind of a dead zone, because back in the day, they wanted 500 yards between gunning rigs, blinds, whatever, people hunting waterfowl. So if you can legally hunt off a big piece on the Chesapeake Bay, if you can legally hunt up to that 300 yards off your piece of property and be legal, the offshore waterfowl zone or the gunning rig zone is 800 yards off that shoreline. So they wanted a 500-yard buffer between people that are shooting, right? So that said, the first Tuesday in August, I can go to whatever county, and this just is in Maryland, I can go to whatever county where the shoreline is, and there's a map, and they give me a little template that represents 250 yards of shoreline. And if there's nobody has any licensed property, they can do it from they can do it for a year or up to 3 years, and they have the availability to do that in May. So property owners or people that have permission from property owners can go and license that property in May. Speed this up, not to be long-winded. The first Tuesday in August is called Blind Sight Day or Squatters Day, because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to find a little piece of shoreline for a boat, or for, I can't build a permanent blind, but for a boat or a layout boat. And if I can fit that in there, the state through the county will sell me that waterfowl rights for $20. That gives me the rights to hunt waterfowl there for the season. It does not give me permission to trespass on the property, but up to the high water mark, we have tides here, up to the high water mark, up to the high water mark, 1/3 the distance across the body of water, not to exceed 300 yards, you can legally hunt waterfowl.
Wow.
Maryland is very regulated and a tad bit complicated, possibly.
Oh, shit.
But with that being said, like I'm listening to you, and if you could just go down to the county and say, here, I found it. Here's a piece of land. Nothing's on it. Not like I want this for the rest of the season. And
it would be, I want to register. I want to register a blind site on this property. It was what you would say.
Yeah.
And it could be the very last day of the season. If it's not already, if there's nothing licensed there, they'll sell you that for $20.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool personally. It puts a little bit, I guess it really depends on you as a person. Like, do you really want to give the government another $20 and or you could look at it as though, I could probably get some primo land on that day if I just put in a little bit of work, mental instead of the scouting and all the other ways that knocking on doors. But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that there's that opportunity to do that. I'm guessing in the Chesapeake area, that's probably a busy day.
It is. Tuesday is very busy. They've kind of restricted the requirements because people would show up with, there may be 300 people for the lottery. So they have a lottery for this. You show up and people start pulling numbers to see who's going to get to pick, who's going to have the chance at the map on opening day. On that first Tuesday in August, there's a lot. So there is, it got a little.
That's wicked.
There's, I will, because I got a warning ticket written to me. You're only supposed to get 2 per day. Well, there's 3 counties that are very close to me. So I would go to that county, I would get my 2, then I would drive a half an hour to this. Somebody said, hey, like, how did you get 6 licenses that day? I was like, well, I went here, here, and here. Well, you can't do that. I was like, well, it's kind of like a little bit of a gray area, isn't it? And it was kind of funny. Somebody at the state said, Jeff, go get you're good to go. Don't do it anymore, but you need to get a warning ticket written to you. Like, how do I do this? They're like, well, when you see somebody, ask them to write you a warning ticket. So I was at a boat ramp one day and a DNR came up, DNR, Natural Resource Police here. I told the guys, like, hey man, can you write me a warning ticket? He's like, what are you talking about? Well, it's this blind site license thing. He did call somebody, found what to do, and he did write me a warning ticket and said, here's your warning ticket. Don't do it again. And to this day, I've never done it again. But it's a little bit of a gray area because opening day, they separate all the maps out.
Right.
We have regional service centers. So after that first day, then all the maps go to one place. So like after the first 2 days, on day number 3, let's say that Lower County, there's 4 maps. So 4 different areas, all 4 map books would go to one place. So when you walked in, you really could only get 2 per day.
Right.
But the day, I would go here, get 2, I would go here, get 2, and I would go there, get 2. The other reason I would get these is because guiding in Maryland, I could not guide on public property. Maryland has miles and miles of shoreline that are public hunting, as well as acres and acres and acres. So kind of to the average guy, I'd be on this side of the river where I got my little 250 yards of shoreline. On the opposite side, he'd have 8 miles of shoreline that he could go literally hunt any place on those 8 miles. I can't go on that side and guide. So I need to have my blind site licenses. So that's why I would do this. And what Phil said, like, as far as the availability goes, certain places here in Maryland, there's a lot of public hunting. So there's not really necessarily on the eastern shore of Maryland where it's not as populated. There's really not the, it's not as competitive. There's not as many people looking to get these blind site licenses because there's so much public property for them to hunt for free. So they don't have to pay $20. But once you get on the western shore, Harford County, Baltimore County, on down the bay, it does get very competitive. And there's people that are like, there used to be people would camp out. When there wasn't a lottery, whoever was first in line, those guys would be 4 days in advance. They would be sleeping outside of the courthouse.
Lord.
We don't want people, sleeping outside the courthouse for 4 days.
Just to kill the duck.
It amazes me, like, to the extreme that people will go to hunt birds. I love it. It's a passion. It just shows the passion, and especially in Maryland and in your area, Jeff, that's got that it's such a rich history, and the local area is just built around the duck hunting and everything that resulted from that, right? Those people coming in, those hunters, the whole thing. It just blows my mind, because I don't think anywhere here in Canada we've got that much competition, Phil. Like, and that's what
No.
like when people say that it's competitive here. Well, it's competitive, but
like at least like here in Ontario, Jeff, like any lake, you just go out there willy-nilly. Just start blasting away. Like, as long as you're not stupid, like you're setting off someone's dock or the shoreline or shooting towards cottages and stuff. But you go any lake, there's some cattails, wheel the boat up next to her and have at her.
Well, how many waterfowl hunters are in Canada?
There's less in Canada than there is in the state of Arkansas.
What is that number? Roughly.
Half a dozen.
Waterfowl hunters, I think the last stats I seen, there was 42,000. There was
Okay.
42. So there was 42,000
Stamps.
stamps sold. And
Okay.
you got to remember that out of that 42,000 stamps sold, there was a large number of those that were American coming up to hunt. So
Copy that.
Yeah.
I got a copy of I don't know what issue it is, but the Delta Waterfowl magazine, and they said there was 1.08 million waterfowl hunters in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Off on a tangent.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
What in the States? What do you think? What do you think the average? Well, I should give you the numbers. But what do you think the average age of the majority of waterfowl hunters are these days?
24.
Ooh, no, I'm saying 40.
It was 52 years old.
Yeah,
That's crazy, isn't it?
yeah.
It was one of these little quiz and answer kind of things where you go through and like they give you they ask you the question, they give you
So I'll give my reasoning why I think why I said 40 and the answer's in the 50s. And then I'd like, if you could, Jeff, to give your, and same with you, Phil, what you think it is. I just think, so this is my personal opinion, all of that generation that grew up, they never gave it up. It continued to be a part of their life. And today, everybody is so, and this isn't a slag on this generation. This is my generation and this one. Everybody is so busy these days, and it got nothing to do with they don't want to be outdoors. It's just everybody has to be so busy in order to survive these days. So I just think that over the years, all those fellas that were able to, and when life was simpler, they were able to keep on to their hobby, which is why they're in their 50s and they're the majority of the hunters. That's my opinion. Phil, what do you
Come
think?
on, man. I'm waiting for Phil to say something.
Well, the reason why I gave my answer, I kind of misread it, and I was thinking more towards like where the mass population,
Yeah.
that age group lies.
Yeah.
Obviously,
and that's usually the demographic generation that is on YouTube and on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram,
I was thinking,
right?
like more of the Duck Dynasty followers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like guys driving lifted white Duramaxes with white Oakleys, and their name's Kyle. Just saying.
It's
Damon, hey, Damon, I never cuss, but Phil, what the fuck does that mean?
What do you mean?
Name Kyle. What the fuck does that mean?
So you know how like there's Karens?
It's easy. His wife's name's Karen.
I know. There is exceptions to the rule. Like, like there's like Karens.
All right.
Well, like Kyle is the guy version, and he generally drives a white Has to be
Of
fucking
white.
white. A white lifted Duramax, and he wears big old white Oakleys.
Now,
and
is it
style.
is it diesel or gasoline?
Oh, she gotta be diesel. Duramax.
She's a Duramax.
Well, I'm not. I'm a Ford guy. I'm sorry. I didn't
Me too.
understand.
Me too, buddy.
I'm
All
sorry.
three of us are.
Mhm.
All right. I'm getting really dark.
You are
All
getting
right.
really
Sun
dark.
is setting.
Sun has set.
Hey man, it's getting to be that time of year, buddy. And I know how excited I am. So we're starting up on Saturday the 24th, I think it is, right? Phil's not. But Jeff, you
I'm
must be
working.
getting excited too, man. Like things, the days are getting shorter, evenings are getting cooler. Fall is coming.
I was trying to change my lighting setting here, and I don't really have an easy answer. But no, you really can't see me at all, can you?
Yeah, we can sort of kind of see you.
If I move,
You're good, buddy.
I don't know, man. I look really dark.
Oh, you're really dark there. I can't see you at all there.
I'm changing up. Let me here, give me 1 second.
Yeah. That's better.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Blinded by the light.
Say the next part. Sing the next part.
Wrapped
better?
up like a deuce in a runner in the night.
Is that what the words are?
It's
I thought
something
it
like that. Close enough. There's a reason why I do what I do, and I'm not a fucking singer.
No, I know, but that's one of the great debates. Is what's the words to Manfred Mann's "Blinded by the Light"?
There we go.
Anyways,
All right, so
tangent.
readjust. Where were we talking about?
I
Wow.
was saying how happy you must be that the evenings are getting longer, and look at that. That's a nice little whistle.
And this is in front of me.
That's cool.
That's a cool little whistle.
This came from Portland, well, just outside Portland, Oregon. Save Island. This is a widgeon whistle. I'm not really that good at it, but it's pretty badass.
It's a pretty
That is.
decoration.
Yeah. It got Rye upset. Sorry. All right. So yes,
got Rye upset.
what is it? We had the house open this afternoon. It's 70 degrees. We had a little front. It was 80 inside today, but this little front through the air, the air fell out really, really nice.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's just, I got a lot mixed emotions because I'm kind of going like 6 ways at once.
Mm-hmm.
There's still evidently a gag order. I thought the gag order is going to be lifted the past couple of days, but there's still a gag order in place.
Okay.
So I can't really talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just.
Can I ask who issues said gag order?
I can't mention his name.
Roger Dodger.
I can't mention his name.
I gotcha. Right. I remember now. I remember the initial conversation now.
Yeah, no, it's just busy. Like I have all these decoys I should be getting done, and tomorrow I run up to Molly's. It's their 12th anniversary weekend sale, so I'm going to be there tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Actually, there's
Get
something
cups.
Really cool. Cups, yeah, but there is something really cool. I don't think I shared the picture with anybody. I guess I haven't, and I can't. So I'm on my phone. I can't show you the picture right now. But anyway, there's something kind of cool. It's going to be released this weekend. I couldn't get my hair cut today. I don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
Look at the flow.
I know.
Yeah, that's what Paulie says. No, man, it is a great time of the year.
Hold on. Back up here. Back up. What's this cool thing that's going to happen? What's this?
I can't show you. I'm on my phone. I'm not on the computer. Or I can't pull it up.
You can't say what it is. It has to be a picture.
Yeah, it definitely.
Oh.
What do they say about pictures?
Yeah, true. Well, then I'm looking forward to your social media post tomorrow because I want to see it.
Thank you. I will say this: there is a short sleeve cotton shirt version, and there is a hooded sweatshirt version.
Oh, maybe some Pit Boss swag.
Sorta, but no.
Maybe
Oh,
just
dude.
general swag.
It's
Okay.
It's more Molly's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
But
don't
That's
want
cool.
another cup.
That's cool. That's cool. Actually, I think I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a hoodie. I'm pretty certain.
I can send you I'll send you a picture after we're done here. But
Okay.
and September's always a good month, but I think October is my favorite month of the year. Much like today, where we lost all the humidity. You know, the air feels really good and clean and clear. But October is my month, so we're not that far away. My season starts October 15th, and on the 23rd we make our journey to Canada, which we don't need a vaccination. We don't need vaccines to get in anymore.
That's right, and you don't have to fill out that stupid Arrive Canada app.
Arrive Canada.
Where in
100%.
Canuckistan are you going, Jeff?
He's going to
East.
Prince Edward Island.
We're going to eat some potatoes.
Taters and red dirt.
I just happened to sit down. So Karen, I can hear she got the shower going. She would be embarrassed. I sat down to the dining room table, but here's a sample. I just had truly, I did. This is not planned because I was sitting outside, but here's a sample.
Ooh.
That's one. Here's another sample.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh,
I
that's
like
slick.
that one. I like that color.
Here it happens. And I literally, this is not, I just happened to sit down.
Look, this is good, buddy. This is good.
This is how my life is. Here is another sample.
Oh.
Mm.
And here is sample number 4. There it is.
That's nice.
Yeah, but you really just they were like sitting kind of along with last year's license 2021. So I just happened to sit down to see this.
All right.
Very nice.
Okay. So that olive colored one, that green one.
It has a black back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one. So
I'd put it on my head, but these hats don't fit. That's why I have to wear a hat that has no top to it.
Hey, Jeff, just turn around, put that green hat on the desk behind you. That one you're going to send to me with a hoodie after.
There's nothing bad back here. No, we're good.
What you need, Jeff, is stuff that is gray.
Gray?
Gray. Because then it goes with the boat for the ocean fishing, the layer hunting.
Where's my gray? I've got a gray Pit Boss hat.
There we go.
Oh, is that
gray.
news? Is that stuff I seen?
I believe the color is bay gray.
Now this happens to be.
Oh, nice. What would that be, an outer layer or a mid layer, Jeff?
I think it's got a little bit to it. It's
okay.
Not. Yeah, I'd call it. It's definitely mid layer. It's not lightweight, but it's. I think I envisioned myself enjoying wearing it. So.
Yeah.
That's probably really all I've got close to me that I can show you.
Yeah, like for the big water boat hunting and the layout boat hunting, you need the gray.
100%. Where were we at? Because I feel like I'm totally off topic.
No, this is good. This is
We could talk about guns.
Guns?
Small guns.
So
something that's not in Jeffrey's repertoire, because Jeffrey just hunts big water, big guns.
Well,
4-inch 10 gauge shells. Like
this weekend, I was going to get a new gun.
Oh.
But sadly, I've been informed that said gun will not be there because I guess they're on the container ships or something.
What were you looking at getting?
SBE3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2. Let me see if I can do this. 8.
28.
Yeah, man.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
I actually, you get that. When you get that, I want you to take a picture and send it to Dave right away.
I saw
right.
I hummed and hawed about getting one and opted for an Ethos instead.
So Geoff and I, Jeff from PEI, we were talking today. Is the Ethos a 3-inch gun?
Yes.
Okay, we weren't sure. We were talking. We were going.
Got one in the safe.
Okay.
She's a 3-inch gun. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And
I
love it to death.
I don't mean to, take over the
You mean to
conversation
brag.
or brag or anything, but I just got myself a new gun. Yep. I've turned into one of those douchebags. I got a 20 gauge.
Come to the dark side.
So that was my insult I used to say to people last year. I was like, 20 gauge is the 6.5 Creedmoor of shotguns.
There's something that's halfway close to me, but I have to
Okay.
step up.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Make the reach, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Make
go
the
for it.
reach.
It's just over here a little bit too far. Hold on a second.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad to see Damien's come to the dark side.
Oh, wait a second. I thought this is different than what I thought it was.
Oh boy.
Had this big old tube that ran up here, but that one's in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Snow Goose Slayer.
This is the one that was at PEI last year.
Yep.
But I really thought I saw the top of the barrel. And I thought it was that. Then I thought, so I got
I remember that gun. I remember that gun very much now, Jeff. That was the very gun that you had to give up to Steve because his piece of shit wouldn't fire.
Yeah,
No.
I think
Is that a 12 or a 20, Jeff?
this is a 20.
20. So I bought a Super Black Eagle 3 in 20 gauge last fall.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically with a 28-inch barrel, because all the 20 gauges I've run in my life have all been 26s. It's like this gold standard number. And now Benelli's releasing small gauge guns with long barrels and whatnot. So I bought Super Black Eagle 3 and 20 gauge with a 28-inch barrel. And honestly, like I shimmed it to match my ethos and my M2, which is a 20, and my Super Black Eagle 2. All of them shimmed the exact same. And I just wasn't for me. I don't know what it was. Like I missed some absolute chip shot birds, like 15-yard birds was missing. I'm like, yeah, this isn't proper.
Okay, so here I got a question for you guys, and this may lead us down a weird hole, but so I just got that new gun today, right? So 30 yards, I put a piece of cardboard up. Beauty about living in the country, I can do that now. And I fired my 3 shots, and I'm high to the left. Is there
Are you
anything
shooting freehand or off bench?
freehand?
Shoot off bench. Yeah, don't shoot freehand. Shoot off a bench. Because that could very well be you jerking it, anticipating recoil. There's no consistency. There's no accuracy. Shoot off of a bench.
Yeah, I don't know, because my other gun, I'm usually like, I'm good. So
You're normally shooting a 12 gauge.
yeah.
And now you're shooting a 20 gauge, anticipating the recoil of a 12 gauge. You could legitimately be jerking it.
Okay.
Shoot
Okay.
off a bench. Yeah. Don't ever freehand it. You have no consistency and accuracy.
Okay. So but I don't. So what I was getting at is there a way that I can shim the shotgun or adjust it so that I can come down and to the right to compensate?
You adjust your shims and cast. It might help.
My uneducated opinion is I don't know about left to right, but up and down, yes.
That's your shim for up and down, right?
Yeah.
Correct. It should come with the gun, right?
Yeah.
Did you
No. Yeah, I got them. Yeah.
You can play with your shim, like your cast. So your cast is going to be your left to right. And
Okay.
your shim will be your up and down. Well, I guess a little bit of both, whatever. But you can adjust it, and you will get some adjustment. But like your point of aim is point of aim. It is what it is. But shoot off of a bench. Don't freehand it.
Yeah, but no, but shooting off a bench does nothing for me when it comes to shooting out of a boat. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to.
Yeah, but at least while you shoot off of a bench, you know your gun. Like one, you're shooting off of a stable platform, so you get your same point of impact every time, day in day out, same point of impact.
Can
Okay.
I
At least
Raider here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, so to Phil's point, I agree with what Phil is telling you, Damien. But Damien, to Phil, I understand what Damien's saying. Is like, yeah, Phil, you're correct about shooting off the bench. But Damien's saying, yeah, but when I'm hunting, I'm not shooting off a bench. So this is the way I shoulder my gun. So I need to adjust.
Yeah.
I need to freehand and shoot my gun because this is the way I shoulder and shoot my gun.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
But at least if you know shooting off a bench, you know that like, okay, that gun at 30 yards would whatever
Yeah.
choke, whatever is
right.
dead. But again, like you're shooting moving birds and stuff, at least you know like I'm shooting dead on. It just I might have to adjust my lead on because I missed that.
Oh yeah. No. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to. I'd like to be able to just point and shoot, right? And not have
100%.
to
Naturally point and shoot.
Yeah, naturally point and shoot. Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, I got a couple friends that are big into former competitive shooters and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure they would know and be able to help me out. But, anyways, I was just thinking about it when you brought it up there.
You will get a slight bit of movement. You can tweak her.
Do we need to rewind this and get back to the topic of what land you can
yeah. Well, hey, that's
you have a new gun.
Yeah, no, but that's the cool thing about when you're on, Jeff, because we're always all over the place. It's amazing. And we haven't had a chance to do our own PMP podcast in like 4 weeks, probably. So
just because I've been moving 1,082 cubic yards of compacted fill. Excuse me, Phil.
Well, I was just going to say, we can move this from the P&P podcast to the Triple P. Punisher Pit Boss Phil.
We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me rewind. So this gun,
more peas in the pod.
This gun that I thought was the gun that I thought I was grabbing, I bought an extension tube.
I know. You sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, but I bought it last year for February. We were going to go to Arkansas. I never got to use it. So I got an invite.
Right.
I got an invite September 8th to go locally Canada goose shooting. And I won't say there's no laws, but there's no regulation as far as what you can shoot, as far as how many shells in your magazine, how many shells the gun can hold, right? So as soon as I got the invite, man, I went and found my extension tube. I put it on the SDE 312 gauge, and it almost felt wrong because I just kept putting shells in that thing. And I've never put shells in.
Yeah, here's half a box. Keep feeding her.
100%. But I saw this barrel, and I thought that was the gun because just, I won't say it's Karen, but the way I live, there's guns kind of,
everywhere.
Hey, that's one of the joys of living in the US of A.
These are first world problems, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like all these goddamn guns are in my way.
And Karen being Aussie, I always hear from her family about how the Yanks love guns. Like, well, it's kind of the way the country was founded.
Yeah. That's it is what it is. I still remember, and I've told this story a million times. I'm in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I go off post to get my hair cut because I don't want to look like a jarhead. And I go to this barber in fuck is the name of the town? Can't remember the name of it. Branson. I go
Missouri?
into Branson, Missouri.
Yep.
So I go into Branson to get my hair cut, and I see the barber, the spinning pool, and I was like, perfect, barber, just what I want. And when I went in there, the barber is open carry, right? And I just thought to myself, I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Like, the dude, this is his business, and he's on open carry. And lots of signs up saying, listen, guns are we're not going to kick you out the door if you have guns, more or less, and a bunch of other stuff. And how awesome would it be that you could just open carry?
The our Maryland governor, who's a Republican, who is he's on his way out, and I should know, I should be able to say this better, and I just don't know. But there was some court ruling in the state of New York. I can't really say what it was because I can't remember. But basically, to be able to get a wear and carry, concealed carry, a wear and carry in Maryland, you had to jump through a lot of hoops.
Yeah.
And Governor Larry Hogan, he removed all that. Said anybody that wants to apply for a wear and carry, all you have to do is apply for a wear and carry. And they are overwhelmed with people that want to be able to wear a gun. And basically what you have to do is you have to do the application. You have to not be a criminal. You have to do your fingerprints. And you do have to take a class. But other than that, before that, you used to have to show you had a business. You had to have a reason why you're going to carry this.
Right.
Gun.
Yeah.
You had to go jump through all these hoops. Basically, he said all the reason for you to carry a gun, he did away with that. And basically all you have to do is be a law-abiding
citizen.
Now you can do that. Karen, wearing Karen, she just walked downstairs. But
your thoughts on that, Phil? Like, not to get into exactly what you do, but professionally and personally, is there a difference?
Well, I can't remember. It's somewhere on the other side of the water there. Iceland, Greenland, Netherlands, Denmark.
Sure.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Scandinavia.
Yeah, something like that. One of those places where it's like it's mandated. It is law. You shall own a firearm. Do you know what their like crime rate is? Like fucking zero. Yeah. Just saying.
Well,
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I'm Batman, but you've never seen me and Batman in the same room together at the same time. Just throwing it out there.
Oh my God, that's the best quote you've ever said on this show. That is amazing.
Not saying I'm Batman, but
fuck, that's a good one. I don't know. I don't know what I think.
So in Maryland, like in home, you can, as long as, again, you need to get a HQL, handgun qualifying license, which I would need to go to I would have to have this license to go to Molly's to buy a gun. I just can't walk in with that and buy a gun without this license. I also have to apply for a permit, not a permit. I have to apply, what is it, Aaron?
A license?
No, not the license. I have to, an application.
Okay.
Basically, there's a 7-day cool down. So I'm not going to go buy a gun in the heat of rage.
Right.
To go after somebody. So there's going to be a 7-day, they used to call it a 7-day cool down period. So if I want to go to Molly's, that's the gun I want to buy. They're going to make me wait 7 days before I can purchase that. So if I was purchasing the gun in a
fit of rage
that possibly in 7 days, I'll lose that feeling. But basically, law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
Just do our thing, right? So there's no problem with me owning as many handguns as I would like to own in our home. And we can carry those in our vehicle to a gun shop or a gun range without any problems.
Right.
But it becomes when you want to, quote, carry that gun.
Yeah. But still, like just me knowing the Canadian laws, but still, that's not a big deal. If you want to wear and carry, you fill out an application, you gotta do a class. Do you have any idea? Well, I can tell you, it's so much that I don't even have a restricted gun license. For me, in order for me to own a 9mm, I've got to have a restricted license. And the amount of hoops and bullshit I got to go through for that, it's not even fucking worth it to me.
So the way things are broken down here in Ontario, Jeff, yes, Canada.
This is Canada.
We have two types of guns: restricted, non-restricted. Non-restricted is your shotguns, your hunting rifles, etc. Restricted is going to be all your every fucking pistol,
Every pistol.
all pistols, and then like a piss ton of like the ARs and all that jazz, like your C8s, whatever. And you are not permitted to use a restricted firearm for hunting. It's literally, you're allowed to go from home to range to home. You can't even target practice with a restricted firearm on your own property. You have to go to a legitimate licensed range. So
I didn't know that.
If I own 100 acres, I
Yeah.
can't go shoot my pistol or my AR
I didn't know
at a
that.
tree. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. End of rant.
So in Maryland, there's handguns and there's long guns.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter if it's AR-15, if it's
A 30-06. Doesn't
whatever it
matter. Yeah.
doesn't.
It's a long gun.
When I go into Molly's, it's called a NIC, where basically I'm going to fill this form out. I'm going to put my driver's license number on there, and basically all they're going to do is make sure that I'm not a convicted felon. As long like in 2 minutes, as long as I'm not a convicted felon, I can buy basically as many long guns as I want to buy. It's the Maryland. And again in the States, it's state to state as far as the handgun. Actually, I guess long guns also, but in Maryland, long guns are long guns and handguns are.
Similar-ish to us.
Yeah, kind of.
Trudeau just sucks the fun out of everything.
Wow.
What a loser.
Buddy, I'm waiting Sunday, I don't know, to watch something. 60 Minutes is on. And I don't even know. I thought you were going
to watch football on Sunday.
Well, the football game was over by that point.
This Sunday, I'm sorry.
No, last Sunday. Who was I watching last Sunday? Who was the early game? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah. So football is over. I'm watching CBS and 60 Minutes comes on, and I'm sort of kind of watching 60 Minutes. And I don't know who the host of 60 Minutes is now. But this guy done an interview with Biden. And I thought the guy just hammered Biden, like just held his feet to the fire and asked them some hard questions. So it'd be nice to be able to see a politician in Canada do that with Trudeau. That's a very, very long way about getting to that point that you brought up, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go off on another tangent?
100%.
Hurricane Fiona.
Mm-hmm.
Karen sent me something today, and I've been talking with Geoff and Paulie on PEI because the center line is going to be very, very, very close to going over PEI. Whoops.
Yeah.
But the thing Karen sent me saying it possibly could be the strongest hurricane ever to hit Canada.
That's what CNN was reporting earlier today, but I didn't see it anywhere else. But it was it was CNN. A CNN.
I think it may be what she showed me. But I talked to Paulie about it. Paulie says what he's been hearing, it's going to be the lowest millibar hurricane, I guess, to touch Canada ever.
Whoa.
Excuse me. That's what they're predicting. It will be the low.
Well, when Katrina, which by the time Katrina hit Newfoundland, she had lost a lot of her power. So really, Newfoundland didn't get. And buddy, it was that was insane. Katrina was insane when it got to us. So I couldn't even imagine what it was like south.
I can't remember the name of the storm, but it would have been 2 years ago, 3 years ago that did kind of hit PEI. And it was Karen, you remember the name?
I don't.
No, but Jeff was sending us pictures. I think it was more of a water event necessarily than a wind event. But pushed up, like there was, especially on the up west on the North Shore there. I think that's where they got first. But I did talk to Jeff today, and he said he's kind of concerned where basically all the trees still have leaves. And he kind of said, hey, man, they're going to be like umbrellas. And he just envisioned lots of power outages there on the islands. What he kind of, that was kind of his thought process. But
You just you brought up Geoff there, and you made me think of Paulie, and this is going to be my test to see if.
I'm sorry, I made you think of Paulie.
Yeah, yeah. So this is my test to see if Paulie listens to the podcast.
Do it.
Yeah. So yesterday or the day before, he put up a picture of him and his wife for their anniversary. Dude, Paulie's wife is a hard 10 every day, and Paulie's like a soft 6.
Karen, did you on Instagram? Did you see what I sent you today? Oh, you got to look at it. I'll send it to you guys. I can't say who sent it to me, but they said it was Paulie when he was 8 years old. He was doing some kind of the dancing kid. I'm like, that's Paulie. Gotta see it. It's like, what kind of dancing was that, Karen?
I think it's tap.
Like tap dancing, but I think it was more like clogging. But anyway, fucking Paulie was going, and I don't cuss, but Paulie was fucking going to 10.
You do now.
That's awesome. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, the pictures of his wedding day, his wife looked amazing, and Paulie not so much. So that's my test to know if Paulie's listening, because if he's listening, I'll be getting a fucking message right away.
Hey, the most famous line is, Paulie don't pay retail.
Paulie don't pay retail. That's right. Geoff is sitting in his chair down in his basement, just laughing his ass off right now.
Because I know he is listening.
Yeah, he is listening. That we do know.
100%.
I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not going to meet up with you guys to fall. I've come to realize I won't be making the trip down, and I'm going to be sad that I was really hoping that I was going to be able to make this work.
Well, we are too, honestly, and it's interesting you should say that, because I was talking to Chris, the builder, today.
Yeah,
and I explained to him how I was disappointed in October of 2020, but I think Karen may have been more depressed. I said, I told Chris, I was like, man, I said, she was like, I'm not joking around when I say she was depressed. Like, she was sincerely depressed that we did not get to go to PEI in 2020. Mm-hmm. And I was disappointed too, but I was like, she was like physically, down and out about not going to PEI. Oh, she told me to stop saying that, but she was. And I told Chris that, because there's certain situations, Karen, that I was trying to explain to Chris that I would be disappointed this year. I said that you would be disappointed even more.
Yes.
She says yes. She agrees with me. So that was my point to explain to her.
But but like, this is what I remember from last year. Like, Karen holds it to a different. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but she holds it to a completely different standard. Like, not saying that she loves it more than what you love it, but hers is on something that's totally different than yours, right? Like, it's just relax time for Karen when she's there, right? Like, she literally just brain dump, just relax. And I think that's what it is for her.
Well, 100%. And I could say literally, Karen works her ass off all year long. And I can say specifically since March 19th, Karen has physically worked her ass off, because she March 19th. But I say that jokingly, but I say that sincerely. But honestly and sincerely, Karen does work very, very hard. And if anybody knows me for whatever I do, basically, it used to be the joke where I said Karen had the real job, and I don't. But I mean, she really does have the real job. And I'm very fortunate she's in my life, and I've been very fortunate to be able to do what, since 1999, to be able to do what I do full time. But having her in my life allows me to comfortably be able to do what I do. So in these circumstances like this, she really does look forward all year long to be able to go on, quote, vacation. And we do. It is about, Fred West is going to fly up. We do shoot birds. His wife's coming up, Mary Beth. And it is about hunting, but this trip is about just enjoying life. It's yes, she agreed. Just enjoying life. Are we going to hunt some? Yes, we are. We're going to eat some? Yes, we are. We're going to drink some? Yes, we are. We're going to enjoy our time with very good friends that at a distance that we're not close to? Yes, we are. And that's what it's all about. And you know, I don't want to be too dramatic and say that, you know, basically for 300 and my math's not good, but for 340 some days a year, Karen works for these 2 weeks to be able to. Yeah, she really kind of does. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, of all the things that I know that's going to go on down there, the bird hunting, the drinking, the food is what I like. I would love to just go back to be able to have food, to have the food, because amazing. Anyways, every time we get on, we end up on a tangent on PEI.
You're from Canada, and we love it.
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell you this? On Instagram, I guess anyway, there's a group that's called Shaw's Menu, and all that is discussed there is the food that will be eaten at Shaw's. Is that
really?
right? Yeah, she said yes. Yep, really. It's a big time menu, man. We're all into Apple. There's an notes. There's a Apple Notes page that just has continuous. This is on the menu. Should this be on the menu? This is not on the menu, but this is. It's all about the Shaw's menu.
Wow.
Karen just said it's been a year in the making.
Wow.
And we use Instagram. We use Instagram for these foodie pages. Is this good? Should this go on? This shouldn't go on. What should we do? Do you like this? Do you like that? Right? Does seafood? No, Fred doesn't like seafood. We eat lots of meat and lots of potatoes when Fred West is on PEI. No seafood. Fred does not.
I want to go to Crabs to Go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Boys, we're getting close to that 60-minute mark. So, and what time is it? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. So football kickoff's about to start, buddy. So I know you got to
shut her down.
Yeah, I know kickoff's about to start here. So, as much as let's go. I'm cheering Steelers on this one tonight.
Karen.
Argos.
Breath. Karen just took a deep breath and said, "No."
Browns, really?
One but Steelers.
Anyone but the Steelers, she says.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, boys, thanks to Jeff especially. Thanks for coming on. We'll do a quick triangle because it's not around the table tonight. It's just the three of us. Philly,
Jeffrey, pleasure as always. I'm gonna have to look into some of this swag here in the near future, and maybe try to get one of those fine Maldives sipping cups smuggled up here. Maybe something in a Bottomland. Wink, wink.
Everything is better in Bottomland.
You're damn right it is.
You're goddamn right it is.
Fuck yeah.
Jeff?
I just want to ask a simple question. Did we cover the topic at hand about who owns the land underwater and can you legally hunt waterfowl from them? I think we got way off tangent.
I think for each individual area, I think he's hammered it. But if anybody's from the other 49 states or 9 provinces, it may not apply to you. But for Maryland and Ontario, I think we beat the shit out of it.
So, but from my perspective, now I don't have a clock on this, but if we talk 60 minutes, I think we only talked about maybe 2 minutes about the topic.
It was a heavy 2 minutes, Jeffrey.
It was
heavy.
It was heavy. There was a lot of information in those 2 minutes.
Yeah. Pitter patter, beating around the bush.
Yeah, sincerely, guys, thank you for having me on. Damien, like I said, I text you, I was like, Karen, he didn't reply to me. And then I real quick checked just by habit, checked my, I was like, damn, at 6:38 or whatever it was, he the invitation. I'm going to go sit outside. So anyway, thank you.
No, buddy. Thank you so much. Cause I knew that you were around. I just didn't know if there was anything happening down the road. So,
more of what state of mind that I'm in currently.
You are busier than a 3-pecker dog right now, buddy. It is insane.
Oh.
But you know what? Good on you, because yeah, you're doing the work. Like, it's not like you're just forking. Well, you are forking over money, but you're doing the work too. So it's impressive, buddy.
I don't have Phil's phone, or I would text him also. But Damon, I'm going to text you when we get done here. You can see
buddy.
what you can see. You can see what's happening.
You can shoot me a message on like Messenger or whatever, Jeff,
I can do that,
or Instagram, whatever.
or maybe you should just give me your damn phone.
Yeah, I'll send you Phil's phone.
I didn't say fucking phone number. I just said damn phone number because I don't cuss.
That's
I
right.
All right.
God, no. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 115 of the Union with surprise guest Jeff Coates, who by now you should all know very, very well. Everybody, we are who we say we are. Just a bunch of friends that love one another's company, and there's always a broad spectrum of topics to discuss, especially when you got Mr. Jeff Coates coming in with us from Maryland. Look after one another, big love, and surround yourself with good people.